Look what just happened with these floods, the floods in New York City, the power going out in New Orleans, and many people still don't have it back yet. Uh, Warnings of new flooding that's coming in Texas this week. Why have we not put money into the infrastructure, the necessary infrastructure? California still has blackouts. California is lacking water. There are water projects that could be done. You can desalinate water. To do that, you need nuclear power. Well, the Greens say nuclear power is bad. One quick jump over to something here in Germany. We're beginning to see people coming out saying that Germany's got to give up the nuclear exit. That is, you've got to continue to have nuclear energy used for producing electricity. I think they were shocked last week when the Polish energy minister said Germany has a crazy energy policy. They're expecting us in Poland to provide electricity that they're not going to have at night and when the wind doesn't blow. And he said they'd be better off keeping their nuclear plants open. But the nuclear plants are set to be shut down next year in Germany. And it's just insane.
When this whole dust settles, I would like some historians and people with some really deep psychological understandings of things to really dissect the mental insanity that is in every single Western quote-unquote democracy in the world right now. There's something inherently wrong with these people. There's an insane, and for lack of a better word, a conspiracy here, because they all seem to be parroting off of each other without any sort of metric, without any sort of data, without any sort of forethought as to what the ramifications and the repercussions would be on all the stupid, successive, and unending decisions that these morons concoct and come up with on a weekly basis, Harley.
And it's not just one country. You're right. It's all of them.
Yeah.
And today or yesterday, Ursula von der Leyen, the woman who's the nominal president of the European Union, spoke about what they call their Gateway project, which is supposedly the counter to the Belt and Road Initiative of China. And what did she say? The main program is going to be subsidies for sustainable energy in Europe, and using that to show other countries how they can reduce their carbon footprint. Yeah. Now, if you take windmills and give them for free to the Indians or to African nations, they don't want them. They want nuclear power plants. They want coal-fired plants. They want development. And here you have, as you point out, people in Europe making insane statements about that. There was another report last week that Germans should stop giving up their fixation on eating meat, that meat has to be eliminated from the diet. And they quoted a nutritionist who said, well, it may take a while for this to happen, but maybe we should cut it down to 2 meals that include meat proteins a week until people are ready to give it up completely. For what reason?
Simple. It is a known fact. Okay, humanity rose. First of all, for all the vegans out there, there's no such thing as a vegan society. Okay, and in the 200,000 years of human dietary development, man is about an 80% carnivore at the bare minimum. The reason why we have bigger brains, our immune systems, the way our entire interstitial muscular systems is built upon animal products and the consumption thereof. You cannot, there's no such thing as a vegan vegetarian society anywhere in the world that has thrived and or become successful. It doesn't happen. That's number one. Number two, when you eliminate plant or animal-based products, right, like good quality grass-fed beef and good quality free-range eggs and things of that sort, you're going to kill the male population. You want to see a complete destruction of testosterone levels in young men, which is already a pandemic. It's actually epidemic in the West at this point, Harley, where not only the sperm counts are low, but the testosterone levels of Western men are abysmal. It's the final culling of the population. It's the final eradication of the species and forcing an artificial extinction level event in the male species where we're not able to reproduce anymore. These people are sick. These are nihilists. These are nihilist devil worshippers who come up with these ideas, Harley.
Well, and you can trace them to top people from the British Empire like Bertrand Russell,
Yeah.
H.G. Wells, the Huxley brothers. I mean, people know about Aldous Huxley and his promotion of the rock, sex, drug counterculture, but his brother Julian was even worse. Julian was in charge of some of the programs that were developed after World War II for the United Nations, and he was a committed eugenicist. But he said, well, given what happened in Nazi Germany, we can't use the term eugenics anymore. What we have to do is use the term environmentalism.
Yeah.
And a lot of people who consider themselves environmentalists don't know that history.
Correct.
And they should ask themselves, why are people like Michael Bloomberg and the Rockefeller Foundation and these oligarchical genocidalists, why are they so concerned with the environment? Well, they're not. As you say, they're concerned with reducing the human population, culling the herd, getting rid of the people they don't want, and keeping just enough people who will be their spear carriers and suitcase carriers.
That's exactly right. And when you eliminate animal products as well as all the other chemical attack that we're under, you're going to have smaller brains. You're going to have more compromised immune systems. You're going to be more dependent on vaccines and big pharma. And you'll become an idiot. You'll become a drooling moron sitting in a concentration work camp while you're, I don't know, maybe pedaling on an exercise bike in order to generate electricity to some neo surf lord.
I'd say we're almost already there, V. Just look at the Congress. When you talk about drooling idiots, look at the Congress.
Harley, I swear to God, if it wasn't for the East, okay, if it wasn't for the multipolar world, I would have lost all hope and faith in humanity.
Well, here's the obvious point, V, that we still have a capability to change the United States because of the system we have. Yeah. They're going after the system. They're trying to turn the United States into a parliamentary system. And I've written a couple of articles about this recently. Lyndon LaRouche made the point that the American presidential system is unique because the relationship of the president to the population is that the president does not serve at the pleasure of the parties, which can be instruments of control of financial oligarchs, but to serve the interests of the people. Now, we've gone away from that quite a bit in the recent period, and we've had a lot of terrible presidents. But the system still exists for that to occur. And that's one of the reasons we're seeing a proliferation of recall and getting rid of people with scandals and destroying the election system to convince people that, you know, it doesn't matter who you vote for. You might as well just have technocrats put in to run things. And who are the technocrats? They're the servants of the globalists and the financial interests.
Yep, exactly. Very well said.